What's up, everybody? I know it's been a while, but it is finally time for another Robbie Rants, and today we're going to ask a very simple question. Are there too many characters in Batman vs. Superman? Alright, are there too many characters in Batman vs. Superman? Short answer, no. Medium-sized answer, let's just wait and see. Long-form answer, here we go. Alright, it is a valid concern to think that there might be too much, too soon, in Batman vs. Superman. Let me address this real quick. There have been movies in the past, The Amazing Spider-Man, Batman and Robin, and movies like that where they just put too much into it. Spider-Man 3, for example, X-Men 3, The Last Stand. You know, they put too much into these movies and it really takes away from the central story and the central characters and what got people into the movie in the first place, right? So it is a valid concern that DC might be putting too much in this. This is supposed to be a movie about Batman and Superman, and now you're adding Wonder Woman, and Aquaman, and The Flash, and I almost said Steel, and Cyborg, right? Like, there's just so much put into this. Doomsday, Luthor, now maybe Darkseid. Like, come on, guys, right? That's way too much. Now, what really irks me about hearing this is I hear this from a lot of people who are just sold on Marvel Studios in general, and particularly Captain America Civil War. Now, let me tell you this. I'm super excited to see Civil War. But oh my goodness, people that are like super excited for Civil War and then tell me that Batman vs. Superman has obviously got too much going on. Let's take a minute to think about Civil War, okay? Captain America, Iron Man, Bucky, Black Panther, Spider-Man, Black Widow, Falcon, Sharon Carter, Ant-Man, Scarlet Witch, Vision, Hawkeye, War Machine, Crossbones and Baron Zemo, and whoever the fuck Martin Freeman is playing, right? So like, that's a lot of stuff in there. There's like 800 billion superheroes in this movie, and everybody's all gung-ho excited for it, but they're sitting there complaining that BVS has got Aquaman and Flash, and maybe a couple others, right? So like, first of all, come on, guys, let's just settle down, okay? But let's look at that. Let's look at why DC can go about this approach a little bit better than Marvel could have. Marvel had to build their films up one by one. They had to do Iron Man, Hulk, Captain America, Thor, and then build into the Avengers. They did that because 10, 15, 20 years ago, it'd be really hard to find just random people on the street that actually knew a lot about Iron Man or Thor or Captain America. Now, people always liked Spider-Man, Hulk, Wolverine, but some of the other characters, the Avengers in particular, throughout the 80s and 90s, weren't that popular, okay? And so they had to build that up. They had to give those characters a chance to flesh out in the mind of, you know, cinema goers, which is a whole lot more of them than there are of us comic book readers. But the point is, the DC characters are, for the most part, already pretty well known, pretty much established. Batman, Superman, everybody knows who those characters are. Wonder Woman, Aquaman, people know who those characters are. They may not know a lot about the comic book history of Wonder Woman or Aquaman, but they know who they are because of the Wonder Woman TV show and because of the Super Friends. And don't forget, my friends, in the 60s, Aquaman had a very successful little run at an animated solo series, which is quite delightful, I might add. Marvel needed time for the Avengers to build up. DC doesn't need that much time for the Justice League. People already know who they are, even Flash and Green Lantern. Cyborg's going to be the one that people are the most unfamiliar with, but even the villain, Lex Luthor, even Doomsday. A lot of people have an idea in their head that somebody named Doomsday killed Superman at some point in the early 90s. So the Justice League is just a whole lot more conscious in the collective unconscious, if you will. Basically, I'm going to trust Zack Snyder because he made a bunch of movies that at the start, when I first heard about him, Dawn of the Dead, you're remaking that? That's going to be terrible. It was a great film. 300? How are you going to take 300 and turn it into a whole movie? 300 was a good movie. The Watchmen, an impossible comic book film adaptation. He did a really good version. A really, really solid job with The Watchmen, in my opinion. Another movie that had a whole lot of characters that nobody knew about, but he managed to work it out in a way that worked for the movie-going public. They loved that movie. It was a big hit when it came out. So basically what I'm saying is, Let's just wait and see. I trust Snyder. I'm super excited. I love the Justice League. I love these characters. People already know them. And in fact, if DC did what Marvel did and just did solo movies building up to the Justice League, they would be accused of just ripping off Marvel. And who wants that? Let's let them stand on their own. The Justice League is already known. So let's just let it happen. And let's just wait and see. Because it is a possibility that there are too many characters in Batman vs. Superman. But there's also a high probability that there's not. And that it's going to be fantastic. We won't know that until we see. So are there too many characters in Batman vs. Superman? I don't know. But I'll let you know what I think when it comes out. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, comment, and like. And check us out at popculturephilosophers.com.